What's good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, before we start the video and talk all things Chisora, Parker, Briggs, yesterday I did a video talking about Deontay Wilder, saying that he thinks he's already a Hall of Fame fighter. On a side note to that, have you guys seen the list of fighters that are vying to get into the Hall of Fame next year? It's been issued today or been released today. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And remember, not all of them can get in. I think it's only, is it 3 of this list can get in? And then you stay on the list to get in for 10 years. And if you're not in, you just get removed or something like that. The list includes the following. I can't remember all of them, but obviously I do remember the ones that I know. So who's on that list? Carl Froch, Bernard Hopkins, Corrales, Antonio Tarver, Casamayor, Juan Manuel Marquez, Sergio Martinez, Bungu, who, for you guys that might not know Bungu, he was a lightweight champion from Africa, I think. A lightweight or junior lightweight, but long reigning. That's just to get in. I mean, again, like, who's going to get in on that list? I mean, who really is going to get in? Marquez will get in. Hopkins will get in. I mean, some good names are going to miss out. And this is what I mentioned on the video yesterday, that good names miss out. So it's not just about being a world champion. All those guys are world champions, right? Long reigning world champions, multiple world champions. Some of them are multi-weight world champions and they won't get in. So it wasn't, again, a case of me having a go at Deontay Wilder. This is just how difficult it is just to get in, let alone be on the list to have a chance of getting in. To get in from that list is just another thing altogether. So there's going to be some very good boxers, very good. Carl Froch might not get in. And Carl Froch had a run where I thought he was fighting very good opposition back to back for like 7 or 8 years. Back to fucking back, right? Literally didn't have no gimme fights. I think the only, if you would call, gimme fight that Froch had was maybe Yusuf Mack. That was it. The rest were like back to back legit guys. And he might not get in. In fact, when you go down that list, there's a good chance he won't get in. And people are upset or were upset that I said Deontay Wilder isn't a Hall of Famer. That's what I was talking about. All right, let's talk Chisora, Briggs, Parker for a while. Obviously, yesterday I did a video talking about Joe Parker being out of the fight. We know now that it was, or they think it is, because of a spider bite, which again is very fucking random. I mean, of all the reasons for a fighter to pull out of a fight, spider bite must be fucking bottom of the list. But Joe Parker is out of the fight, and the search now goes on to find a suitable replacement to keep Chisora on the card. Again, let's not forget, this is a pay-per-view event. Pay-per-view event. I guess it's got to stay as a pay-per-view event as well in order to pay, I guess, the salaries of Josh Taylor and Progress. I mean, they're getting paid well. And I guess the only reason they're on this card was it's on pay-per-view, so they can afford to be on the card. So there's been a number of names that have been kind of put forward in the last, what, 6 or 7 hours. Bakoli's a name that's been mentioned. I don't think Bakoli's mentioned it himself, but people around him, I think, have mentioned it. Michael Hunter tweeted immediately saying he'll happily take the fight. I think he put a video of him hitting a heavy bag. He wants to fight. And then Eddie Hearn, I think about an hour ago, tweeted the photo of Shannon Briggs. Now, he's done that for 1 or 2 reasons. Firstly, he's obviously spoken to Shannon Briggs, and Shannon Briggs has probably reached out to him as well. But I think the most important reason he's done it is just to see what the fans' perspective is, right? Eddie Hearn is very in tune with what we want, so I think. And he will be looking at the responses. And I've just looked, and I spent, 10 minutes looking at the responses. And I would say 95% of them are positive. People are like, get it done. Get it done. And you know what? I don't mind it. I can't lie to you. I do not mind it for a number of reasons. Look, firstly, obviously, we're getting 20% of Shannon Briggs. I fully understand that. Shannon Briggs hasn't had a fight, I don't think, since 2016. Still looks in shape. Obviously, looks like he stays in shape, but he's not had a fight since 2016. I do think as well, and I could be wrong, but I'm sure he served a drug ban as well I'm sure he has, which isn't good, but this is boxing nowadays. But I like it because A, it keeps Chisora on the card, which is important for the card. And B, it's not, I mean, if you're David Haye and Dereck Chisora, you should think that you can get through Shannon Briggs in a few rounds, right? I mean, the first 2 or 3 rounds might be tricky, but really, if you're Dereck Chisora and you're thinking you want to go and fight guys that are world level, you should be able to get rid of Shannon Briggs. But Shannon Briggs is a fun fight for the fans. It's a fun fight. I think, again, I think for 4 rounds, it'll be an interesting little firefight. That's what it's going to be. I mean, you still want to run back, Chisora versus Parker. So you don't want to put Chisora in there with someone that will beat him, right? I mean, the names that we're hearing, again, Michael Hunter, I would make Michael Hunter a favorite to beat Chisora. So why do that, right? You still want to make the Chisora-Parker fight, so why not give him someone that is exciting for the fans? Again, looking at the reaction, the fans are happy, exciting for the fans. I don't think it will sell pay-per-view in terms, I don't think people will pay to watch it per se, so I think the pay-per-view numbers will take a hit regardless, but I think most people will be happy with it. The press conference, the final one, will be exciting. Shannon Briggs knows how to sell a fight. We think we've all seen this for the last sort of 5 or 6 years. Chisora knows how to sell a fight. Both will sell this fight. But the number one reason why I wouldn't be upset if it happens, and it's still a big if, isn't even a boxing one. You know, normally I say, okay, he beat that person, he deserves it. Ain't even that. It's more a personal one with Shannon Briggs. I actually think he deserves it. I mean, this guy has called out every fighter under the sun in the last 7 years. I tweeted about a year ago. I'm going to try and find the tweet and put it on or overlay it as I'm talking. I tweeted about a year ago that for everything Shannon Briggs did, all the stuff with Klitschko, all the stuff with David Haye, trying to goad both, all the fun he gave us, the Sgochamp, everything he done, turning up to nearly every major press conference in world boxing, this guy never got a fight. Never got one. Never got one. No one in the top 20 fought Shannon Briggs. No one in the top 30 fought Shannon Briggs, right? I mean, yes, it helped his brand, but all that goading he did, and it was some fucking fantastic goading. The one with Klitschko, the one where Klitschko's, what is he doing? He's kind of, I don't know what he's doing, but he's on a canoe. I don't know what he's doing. And he goes past him on a boat and knocks him off his canoe. Fucking, he deserves the fight just based on that. He deserves an opportunity, right? And he hasn't had one. Hasn't had one at all. And I would love him to be on this card, just almost like a goodbye fight, if anything, right? I mean, he still might fight after, probably not, but almost like a goodbye fight, but on a nice pay-per-view card, co-main event. I think he deserves it just for all the fucking effort this man put in the last 6 or 7 years. I mean, he's got some miles on the fucking clock for every press conference he's been to around the world. Goading, again, go and check it on YouTube. Goading every top 20 fighter. Every. Deontay Wilder, goaded him. I don't know if you guys remember when he goaded Deontay Wilder and Lennox Lewis was just there. And I think Deontay Wilder said, "Who have you fought?" And he said, "Lennox Lewis." Don't know if you guys remember that. I mean, David Haye, we went to David Haye's press conference and said, if I fight on your undercard and beat a guy, will you fight me? David Haye said yes. He went on the undercard, beat the guy. David Haye didn't give him the fight. The Klitschko ones, I mean, how many can we speak about? He deserves it just for that. So I would not be mad at Chisora versus Briggs in a 5-round shootout or a 4-round shootout, and that's what it will be. I'm okay with it. Will it happen? Probably not, but I'm good with it regardless. Peace.